morning, friends. It's 5:43 Tuesday morning. I'm just getting a little more coffee in my system before we get started and let people join. I know it's early. But it's a new day. And that's a beautiful thing, right? New day, new opportunity. So if you're popping on to take yoga, or you just want to hear me talk, because I don't do yoga, I just sit here and tell you what to do. Just leave a comment. Let me know that you're here. That's the hard thing about teaching in this virtual world. I don't see bodies. I don't always know who's out there. So that would be cool. And we've got about 1 or 2 more minutes. So if you're here to practice, you can get yourself settled. We will start lying down. So we're going to start this morning. Yep. Definitely should try yoga. Definitely. All right. So we will get started. So you're gonna lie down. You're gonna start lying down. And legs out long, arms by your side. And just let the back side of your body get heavy. Let it sink into the mat. Really feel the spine press into the mat. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Good morning, Jenny Fox. Unhinge your jaw. Right. It's early, but you could be clenching that jaw, right? I often do it in my sleep. Soften the space between your eyes. Right, take a full belly breath in. Really fill up with breath. Right, this life force that lives inside of us, that sustains us, our superpower. And then take a long breath out. Right, and as you lie here and you breathe in and you breathe out, begin to notice. Right? Notice what goes on in your head. I know it's early, but man, my brain never stops moving. Right? Notice the breath, notice the sensation in your body. Right? Begin to wake up to this moment. begin to wake up to the idea that everything is figure outable. Right? I love that. Everything is figure outable. And so if you stay in the moment, in the breath, everything's figure outable, right? You don't have to figure out 6 months from now. You just got to figure out this moment. And in this moment, you're lying here and you're breathing and you're noticing. And when your mind wanders, you come back. Right, when all of this started, it seemed so daunting. How are we going to work from home? How am I going to teach yoga on Facebook? How are my kids going to learn from home, right? We're figuring it out together as community, one breath, one moment at a time. I'm glad I don't have to figure out the plan 6 months from now, but I can figure out today as it unfolds. Right. So as you move through practice, hold on to that, that this moment is figure outable. You can do this moment. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Inhale, you're going to reach your arms up overhead, full body stretch. Maybe point your toes, stretch your fingers up above your head. All right, waking up to the moment. And take a breath in, and on the exhale, the hands are going to come down by your side. You're going to hug the knees into your chest. Maybe you give yourself a hug, a good morning. Let's figure this day out together. Right. John, maybe you'll come back and join us for a full practice. We'll get you through it. Giving yourself a hug, maybe you rock side to side, then drop your knees. Actually, just rock side to side, massage your low back for a moment. I think I've said this before, but I'm sitting in different ways and I'm working in different ways, and I miss my chair at work, so I have these aches and stiffness that I'm not used to. So just waking up to that and know that it's temporary. Take a breath in, and then drop your knees over to the right on the exhale. Just a gentle, spinal twist to wake up. You take a breath in and a breath out. Your shoulder blades are on the mat. Right, and in order for things to be figure outable, you can't force them, right? So don't force the movement. Have it come from what your body's telling you that it needs. You take a breath in, you come back to center. On the exhale, you drop the knees over to the left. Right, and here, this moment, you breathe in, you awaken, you notice. Take a breath in, you come back to center. You're going to keep the right knee hugged in, and that left leg is going to go out long to the mat. You're going to take the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Go ahead and cross it over the body. Yeah, just waking up the spine. You breathe in, you breathe out. Your inhale, you come back to center. That right leg's going to go out long to the mat. The left knee's going to come in. You're going to cross it over the body when you're ready. Notice here, notice the sensation in your body. Where are you holding on to tension? And where can you soften? And maybe you just know and say to yourself that everything's figure outable, and that inevitably softens, right? Just knowing that whatever comes, you'll get through it. You take a breath in, the left knee crosses over, the body leg goes out long. Take a breath in, arms reach up overhead, another full body stretch. Exhale, hands and knees come in, start rocking front to back, and make your way to hands and knees, otherwise known as tabletop, right? So here in tabletop, right, it's the next pose, and there's nothing complicated. You don't have to figure it out. You're going to listen and you're going to breathe. So your shoulders are stacked over your wrist, your hips are over your knees, the tops of your feet are flat on the mat. The spine is long. Crown of the head's reaching towards the front of the room. You're going to take a breath in. You're going to lift the belly, or lift the heart, drop the belly, come into cow. And then on the exhale, you're going to press down into the hands, round the spine, come into cat pose. Inhale, belly drops, heart lifts. Exhale, you round the spine. Good, keep doing that. Inhale, heart lifts, belly drops. Exhale, you press down through your hands, round the spine. Right, so you're linking breath to movement. Inhale, heart lifts, belly drops. Exhale, you push down and you round the spine. Maybe in this moment, you need to do like some side to side. So you look out over the right shoulder, back towards your right hip. And on the inhale, you come back to center. And then on the exhale, you look over the left shoulder towards the left hip. Right. So you can throw that in there as well. Right. The way that we figure things out is by listening. Right. You listen to the body, you listen to the breath, you listen to the heart. So as you move and breathe from that space. Maybe you shift your hips back towards your heels. What I need and what your body needs are two different things. So trust that. Trust that your body knows what you need. And in that, wisdom is the ability to figure it out. Move through one more cycle of movement, whatever movement you've added in. And then you're going to come into some stillness here. Right, so you're in tabletop. The spine is long, really press down through your hands. You're going to take a breath in and the right leg's going to lift in the air behind you. So you're going to flex that right foot like you want to put your footprint on a wall if it was behind you. Right, you're going to hug the belly button into the spine for stability. Take a breath in, and then you're going to lift that left hand out in front of you when you're ready. Hug everything into the center, and you breathe, and maybe you're shaking and wobbling. Like balance is not an 8. It takes practice, just like it takes practice to say everything is figure outable. So you take a breath in, and on the exhale, the hand and knee come down to the mat. And your next inhale, the left leg lifts, flex through the foot. And when you're ready, you reach that right hand forward. Like if I was standing in front of you, you wanted to shake my hand. Although if I was standing in front of you, we're going to be giving hugs. I'm just saying, I'm going to be a hugger by the time this is over. Jenny, I know you can relate to that. Take a breath in, exhale, that hand and knee come down to the mat. Your next inhale, that right foot lifts on an inhale, and the left hand lifts. You get your stability, you take a breath in, and on the exhale, the elbow and the knee hug in. Take a breath in and you lengthen out. Exhale, you contract in. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, you contract. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, you hug everything in, knee to elbow. Beautiful. Exhale. Inhale, you lengthen. Hand and knee come down to the mat. See, even abs are figure outable at 6 o'clock in the morning. Take a breath in. Left leg lifts in the air behind you. When you're ready, that right hand lifts up. You take a breath in and you lengthen on the exhale. You contract in, right elbow, left knee, hug it in. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, you contract. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, you contract in. Squeeze it in. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, you contract. Last one. Inhale, you lengthen. And then the hand and knee come to the mat. You're going to sit your hips, take your knees wide to the edges of the mat. Sit your hips back, come into child's pose. All right, here in child's pose is a place where you can come at any point in the practice to come back to your breath, to come back to the moment, come back to your body, to come back to tell yourself this is figure outable. Whatever is going on, whether it's a pose, something in your head, right? You could stay here the whole time and this would be the practice, right? Because the practice is noticing, becoming aware, being in the body. You're going to walk the fingertips forward. And then on the exhale, you're going to walk them over, off to the right. Come off the mat, sit the left hip back towards the left heel. Just a little side stretch. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Inhale, you're going to walk your hands back to center and then walk them over to the left. And on the exhale, you're going to push that right hip back towards the right heel. And then you're going to walk your hands back to center. You're going to tuck the toes, lift the hips, and come into downward facing dog. Right, so here in downward facing dog, it's like an upside down V. So your hands are strong, fingers spread. Maybe there's a slight bend in your knee. Your hips are lifting up towards the ceiling. Right, shoulder blades are moving away from the ears. My guess is it's your first down dog of the morning. I mean, I don't typically jump right out of bed and be like, oh, let's go to down dog, right? So it may be a little stiff. It may feel like how it's going to feel to have to put work clothes back on when I go back to work, right? A little uncomfortable, a little tight, a little awkward, right? But it's figure outable. You breathe in, you breathe out. Maybe you pedal out your knees, your feet. And you just notice what's alive in this moment, right? And take a breath in, you're gonna come up to the balls of your feet. And on the exhale, you're gonna drop your heels over towards the right. So make sure that when you do this, that your shoulders stay square to the mat, right? You don't wanna twist your whole body, you're just dropping the heels to the right. You take a breath in, you come back to center, and on the exhale, the heels drop over to the left. Good. Breathe in, breathe out. You come back to center. You're going to stay high on the balls of the feet. You're going to hover the shins so that they're parallel to the mat. Yeah, bend deeply into the knees. Stay with me here, and then you're going to inhale. You're going to slowly straighten the legs and let the heels sink to the mat, and that creates some space into your low back. Nice. And take a breath in. You're going to glide forward to high plank. So you can absolutely drop your knees down to the mat. Right? Or you can stay here in high plank. The shoulders are over the wrists. You're up on the balls of the feet. Your belly button's hugging into the core. The thighs are lifting up towards the ceiling. Your gaze is right past your fingers. right? And you breathe here and you think, okay, here we are, we're hanging out in plank, 6 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. It's figure outable. Maybe the narrative starts that, this is hard, you can't do this, you're not strong enough. You got it. It's a moment. Take a breath in, exhale, downward facing dog. If we haven't met before, I enjoy plank. Take a breath in, you glide forward, high plank. Right, breathe in to your strength. Breathe into the ability that this is figure outable. Like this moment, this day. Puff up the space between your shoulder blades. Yeah. Take a breath in, exhale, downward facing dog. One more. Inhale, you glide forward to high plank. And just like the more we practice these poses and that which we practice becomes stronger, right? The more we practice knowing that everything is figure outable, the easier it is to believe that. And the easier it is to stay in the moment, right? Take a breath in. I haven't forgotten that you're hanging out in plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. You're going to walk your hands back to your feet. So you land at the back of the mat. You're going to take your feet wide to the edges of the mat and you're going to grab opposite elbows. Come into ragdoll. Right, so in ragdoll, it's just a forward fold. You let your head and neck release. Right here is a place where you can let your shoulders come up to your ears, let gravity do its work. Right? I always think of this pose as a brain dump, like I'm dumping the thoughts, I'm dumping the negativity, the doubt, the worry, right? So you breathe in, you fill up, and then you dump all of that stuff. Like I have a visual of all the things falling to the mat. Right? You breathe and you awaken to this moment, right? Take a breath in. You're going to bring your fingertips down to the mat. You're going to bend deeply into the left knee. The left hand's going to stay down and you're going to lift that right hand up to the sky. Open up. Let that top shoulder roll onto your back. Beautiful. Take a breath in. That right hand comes down. You bend into the right knee. And as you breathe in, the left hand lifts to the sky. You take a breath in, left hand comes down. You're going to toe heel your feet back to hip distance. Right? So you're at the back of the mat, feet are hip bone distance apart. You're going to inhale to a halfway lift so the spine is long, the crown of the head's reaching towards the front of the ceiling. Maybe you reach your hands out behind you, feel your shoulders roll onto your back. Exhale, you fold. Could do that again. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. You're going to walk your hands back out to plank and you're going to pause. You're going to take a full breath in. Exhale, you lower down. Heart's going to lift to cobra on an inhale. So it's literally like the heart lifts up. It's a little back bend. You use your core. Hands are light. Exhale, you lower. 2 more, please. Inhale, heart lifts to cobra. Exhale, you lower. Inhale, your heart lifts. Exhale, you lower, and you make your way back to downward facing dog. Here you take a breath in and a breath out. You're going to look forward. You're going to walk your feet to the top of the mat. So that may be 1 step, it may be 10 steps, it may be 50 steps, right? It's figure outable. You may think, how am I going to get my feet there? Figure it out. Halfway lift on an inhale, spine is long. Exhale, you fold. Ground down through your feet. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you fold. Halfway lift on the breath in. Exhale, you empty out. You plant your hands. You step back to plank and pause. You take a full breath in and plank, and on the exhale, you lower down. Your next inhale, your heart lifts to cobra. Exhale, you lower, and you make your way back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you take a full breath in, you look forward, you walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. And if you're thinking, jump, are you crazy? It's all right. You don't have to jump. Remember, it's all figure outable. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you keep moving and you fold forward. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you plant your hands. You step back to plank. You pause and plank. You take a very full breath in. And on the exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts to cobra on an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. So this movement is called vinyasa. So it just is a way to link pose to pose. Right? So you can choose to do that throughout the practice when I say vinyasa. It's kind of like Simon Says, right? Or you can just skip that and make your way back to downward facing dog. It's your choice, right? It's that knowing what your body needs in this moment to figure things out. I'm going to walk you through one more. Take a breath in, look forward, walk, step, or jump your feet to the top of the mat. Beautiful. Halfway lift on an inhale, spine is long. Open up. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you plant your hands, you step back to plank and you pause. You take a full breath in and plank, and on the exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts to cobra on an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, you pause and you notice, right? You've woken up the body a little bit. You've moved. What's alive for you now? What's present for you now? What seems figure outable now that didn't when you started? And you breathe in and you breathe out. You're going to take a breath in and lift the right leg to the sky. Exhale, you're going to step it forward in between your hands, and then you're going to drop the back knee. You're going to take a breath in, and you're going to come up to Anjaneyasana. So in Anjaneyasana, the hands can reach up overhead, or you can bring the hands to the right thigh. I like to start on my thigh, right? And you're going to bend in so that that right knee is moving out over the right ankle. This is the one pose where that's okay. Right, that back knee is dropped. It's supporting you. You're going to feel the stretch in the hip. Heart stays open. Beautiful. You take a breath in. You're going to tuck the left toes and come up to a low lunge. So that back knee is going to lift. Your feet are in two separate lanes. Your right knee stacked over your right ankle. Hands are framing the right foot. And here in a low lunge, the spine is reaching. It's long. The crown of the head's reaching towards the front of this room. And you breathe. And you notice, you take a breath in. The right foot's going to step back to meet the left. You're in high plank. You take a breath in. Exhale, you go back to downward facing dog. On an inhale, the left leg lifts to the sky. On the exhale, you place the left foot in between the hands. You drop the back knee. Come into Anjaneyasana. So again, the hands can be on the left thigh. You can press into the left thigh. And you're not directly on the knee. You're kind of like on the fleshy part of your knee. You're a little bit forward. Yeah, breathe in. Notice here. So hands are going to come down to frame the left foot. You're going to tuck the right toes, lift the right knee. You're in a low lunge. Right, in this moment, here you are. There's nothing to figure out. You breathe, right? Be in this moment, in this pose, in your body. Take a breath in. The left foot steps back to meet the right. You're in high plank. You take a breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then inhale, the right leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, you step it forward. In between the hands, you drop the back knee. Come on up to Anjaneyasana. This time, lift the arms overhead, please. Right, so let the shoulders soften down your back. Unhinge your jaw. Open up across the heart. Keep bending into that right knee. Beautiful. Take a breath in. On the exhale, the hands are going to come down to frame the right foot. You come up to a low lunge. The left hand's going to stay down. The right hand's going to lift up. You're going to twist open. And as you do that, you roll that top shoulder onto your back. The crown of the head reaches towards the front of the room. And on the exhale, can you open up, right? You can't figure things out. And you can't be in the moment if your heart's closed. So open it up. Open up to this moment. Right, take a breath in. Right hand comes down. Right foot steps back. You're in high plank. You take a full breath in and you push back to downward facing dog. Left leg lifts to the sky on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward. In between your hands, you drop the back knee. Inhale, you breathe into Anjaneyasana. Arms are reaching up overhead. Right. And here you notice what's alive. Where is there tension? Where can you soften? Sometimes just the softening makes it figure outable. Beautiful. You take a breath in. Exhale, the hands come down to the mat. You come up to the right toes. You're in a low lunge. Pull the belly button into the spine. Lift the right thigh bone up towards the ceiling. Right hand stays down. Left hand lifts up to the sky. Low lunge twist. Really spread the fingertips, the fingers wide on the right hand. Press down into the hand. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Left hand comes down to the mat. You step back to high plank. You take a full breath in. Exhale, you lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, heart lifts to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Right leg lifts to the sky on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward in between your hands. You drop the back knee. You breathe into Anjaneyasana. Arms are reaching up overhead. You're going to take a breath in, and in an Anjaneyasana, the left hand's going to come forward. The right hand's going to come back. You're going to twist open. Beautiful. You're going to stay here. Listen up. The left hand's going to come down. The right hand's going to come up. You're going to tuck that back toes. And you're in a twisted low lunge. Beautiful. You breathe here. So you don't have to figure out where you're going. That's my job. You just have to listen to your body and stay in the moment. Stay in the breath. Beautiful. Take a breath in. From here, the right hand's going to come down to the mat. You're going to frame that right foot. Inhale, you're going to rise to high crescent lunge. So you lift the upper body. Use the core. Lift yourself up. Arms reach up overhead, or they can come to heart center. You keep bending into that right knee. The right knee stacked over the right ankle. You're high on the ball of the left foot. Pull the left heel in towards the center of the mat. It likes to creep out to the left side. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Exhale, the hands come down to the mat. You step back to plank. You take a full breath in here in plank, and on the exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts to cobra on an inhale. Exhale, you lower, and you make your way back to downward facing dog. Left leg lifts to the sky on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward in between your hands. You drop the back knee. Breathe into Anjaneyasana. Beautiful. Arms reach up overhead. You take a breath in. Exhale, the right hand comes forward. The left hand comes back. You twist open. Let the shoulders fall away from your ears. The twist comes from your waist. Right, your hips are staying square. Take a breath in. That right hand's going to come down to the mat. You're going to tuck the right toes. Left hand lifts to the sky. You come into a twisted low lunge. You got it. You breathe. Take a breath in. Left hand comes down to the mat. Inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. Right? The left knee sometimes likes to come in towards the center. Can you push it out towards the left pinky toe? Take a breath in. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. You step back to plank. You pause here in plank. You take a full breath in. Exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts to cobra on an inhale, and you make your way back to downward facing dog on the exhale. And here we are in downward facing dog, and we're just going to keep adding on, right? So take a breath in, right leg lifts to the sky on the inhale. Exhale, you step it forward in between your hands. You drop the back knee, you breathe into Anjaneyasana. Take a breath in here, left hand comes forward, right hand comes back. You're going to tuck the left toes, left hand comes down to the mat, low lunge twist. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Right hand comes down. Inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. Exhale, you open it up, warrior two. So here in warrior two, you're facing the left side of the room. Your right knee stuck over the right ankle. Your back foot, the toes are facing the long side of your mat. You're pressing into the outside edge of that back foot. You're gazing out over the right fingers. The shoulders are falling away from the ears, and you settle in here, right? The first time we've been here today, so you notice what comes up. Right? Maybe you meet resistance, you say good morning, you awaken to that, and you say everything's figure-outable. You're going to flip the front palm, you're going to stretch it back, reverse your warrior. You're going to cartwheel the hands to the mat, step back to plank. You're going to pause here in plank, and on the exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts to cobra on an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts to the sky on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward in between your hands. You drop the back knee. Inhale, you rise to Anjaneyasana. Beautiful. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, that right hand comes forward, left hand comes back. Right hand comes down to the mat. You tuck the right toes. You're in a twisted low lunge. Right, take a breath in. The left hand comes down. Inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. Exhale, you open it up, warrior two. Facing the right side of the room. Left knee over the left ankle. The left heel is lined up with the arch of the right foot. And can you bend into that left knee? Keep it tracking over towards the left pinky toes. Right. Different side, different sensation, different opportunity to awaken to the idea that everything's figure-outable. You're going to flip the front palm, you're going to reach back, reverse your warrior, and you're going to cartwheel your hands to the mat, step back to plank, pause. You take a full breath in, exhale, you lower. Heart lifts to cobra on an inhale. Exhale, you make your way back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, you look forward, you walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Right, halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you ground down, you rise to standing. Exhale, you bend the knees, you sit your hips back, and you say good morning to chair. So in chair, you want to trust the back side of your body. Move your weight into the back side of your body, right? Your hamstrings, your thighs, your glutes, toes are light, heart's lifted. In this pose, this moment is figure outable. Breathe. Hands can be at heart center, or they can be framing your ears. If your arms are reaching up overhead, relax the shoulders, unhinge the jaw. And maybe you start to think, how long are we going to stay in chair? Maybe you find joy here, and that would be fantastic, right? Maybe you meet irritation or agitation or boredom, and you say, okay, it's figure outable. Take a breath in, exhale, you fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Bend the knees, sit the hips back, breathe up and into chair. And bring your hands to heart center. Good morning, Tammy. You're going to lean forward over the thighs. The left elbow is going to come to the outside of the right knee. Twist open. So press the palms together, right? And it's going to help you roll that top shoulder onto your back. Watch the left knee. It likes to pop forward. So pull the left hip crease back. Right here, new pose, new opportunity. Great time to remind yourself that this is figure outable. Right here, you breathe. Take a breath in. You untwist, you come back to center, you pause, and on the exhale, right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Crown of the head's reaching towards the front of the room. The spine is long. Beautiful. Take a breath in. You come back to center. Exhale, you fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. You're going to grab the left wrist with the right hand. You're going to ground down and lengthen on an inhale. Exhale, you lean towards the right. Take a breath in, you come back to center, you switch hands, and on the exhale, you lean over to the left. Keep your weight equidistant in your feet. Right, so that the movement comes from the side body. Take a breath in, you come back to center, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, you fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. You're going to ground down into the left foot. Right leg's going to lift behind you, so you're in a standing split. So fingertips are down on the mat, the heart's reaching forward like you're looking over the edge of a cliff or a diving board. All right, spine is long. Beautiful. You take a breath in, and on the exhale, those right toes touch down at the back of the mat. You're in a low lunge. Hey, we've been here before, right? Nothing to figure out. Right, take a breath in, that right hand stays down, the left hand comes up, low lunge twist. Your next exhale, the left hand comes down. Inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. Exhale, you open it up, warrior two. You're going to flip the front palm, you're going to stretch back, peaceful warrior, and then you're going to come into side angle pose. Right, so you're facing the right side of the mat. Your left knee stacked over the left ankle. Your left thigh bone, your left forearm is on your left thigh. So don't dump your body weight there. Just let it hover. You can bring that left hand down to the mat if you would like, or you can bring it to a prop. Okay. We've figured out props since you may not have them. I've heard soup cans, toilet paper, small children, small dogs, books, boxes, right? It's figure outable. And wherever you are, that right hand's reaching towards the ceiling, opening up across the chest. Beautiful. You're going to come back to warrior two. So you're bending into the front knee. You're going to take your hands to your hips and you're going to turn your left toes so that both feet are facing the long side of your mat. You're in a wide-legged stance. You're going to take a breath in and you're going to fold forward. So you're in a wide-legged forward fold facing the right side of the room, the long side of your mat. And you breathe here. You let the head and neck release. Let your fingers come underneath your shoulders. Take a breath in, halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. You're going to turn the left toes so that they're parallel to the front of the mat. You're going to come up to the ball of the right foot. You're in a low lunge. Right foot's going to step up to meet the left. You're at the top of the mat. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Left leg lifts to the sky on an inhale. You're in a standing split here. The belly's pulling into the spine. Yeah, flex through that lifted foot. Beautiful. You take a breath in. On the exhale, the left toes touch down at the back of the mat. You're in a low lunge, right? This should feel familiar. Maybe you notice something different. Left hand stays down, right hand lifts, low lunge twist. And you take a breath in, the right hand comes down. Inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. Exhale, you open it up, warrior two. So you're facing the left side of the room. You're bending into the right knee. The outside edge of that left foot is strong. Your legs have got you. You're going to flip the front palm. You're going to reach back, peaceful warrior. And then you're going to come into side angle pose on this side. So right forearm to right thigh. Hand can come down to the mat. Left hand's lifted, reaching towards the ceiling. Roll the top shoulder onto your back. Right, open up. And you breathe in. And you breathe out. Beautiful. You're going to come back to warrior two. You're going to turn the right toes so that they're parallel to the long side of the mat. You're facing the left side of the room. Hands come to the hips. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, you fold. You're going to take your hands behind your back, clasp them. So I like the palms together so you can bend your elbows to make that happen. Hands can stay on your low back or you can lift them up for a shoulder stretch. Right? Knowing that everything is figure outable means trusting yourself, right? Trusting the knowledge that you have within your body. And man, sometimes I get it. It's hard. It's hard for me, right? But that's the work. Trusting that I know what I know and learning to listen to that. Being in the moment, not 6 months down the road in my head. Right? And there's comfort in knowing that everything's figure outable. And knowing that there are people and communities and connections to help us do that. Release the grip on your hands. Hands come underneath your shoulders. You're going to turn the right toes towards the front of the room. Come up to the ball of the left foot. You're in a low lunge. Left foot's going to step up to meet the right. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you ground down and you rise to standing. Exhale, hands come to heart center. You're going to ground down into the left foot. The right foot is going to lift up, so the right knee stacked over the right ankle. The right foot is flexed. You're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh. So you're making the number 4. You're going to sit the hips, bend the left knee and sit the hips back. So standing pigeon. Arms can be reaching up to frame the head, or they can come to heart center. You can also bring them down to the mat if you want more of a stretch, or if you're working on the arm balance. All right, and you breathe here. Maybe you bend deeper into the left knee, sit the hips back a little bit more. At this pose, this moment, right? This is your life here. So breathe into it, awaken to it. Say good morning to it. On an inhale, you're going to straighten the left leg. We're headed into tree, so you're going to take that right, you're going to uncross the right ankle, and then you're going to bring the sole of the right foot either to the calf or the thigh, or the toes can come down to the mat. You just want to stay away from the knee. All right, and your hands can stay at heart center. They can reach up overhead. You can clasp them behind you. You can close your eyes. You have all of these options. Right, and you breathe. You let the shoulders soften. You find something to focus on that's not moving. Right? You ground down into that standing leg. You're going to take a breath in and a breath out. Right foot's going to come down to the mat. Maybe you shake it off. Inhale, you rise. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. You ground down into the right foot. Left foot lifts up. You cross the left ankle over the right thigh. You bend the right knee. Sit the hips back. Standing pigeon. Different side. Different feels. Different opportunity. Right, maybe your leg is screaming at you. It's figure outable. It's a moment. You take a breath in and a breath out. You straighten the right leg. You uncross the left ankle and you move into tree. On this side. I noticed yesterday I was in a meeting and I was standing, and I noticed that all of a sudden I just my right foot, all of a sudden I was standing in tree, and I thought apparently that felt good. And I thought, well, why can't I do this on my yoga mat? Like, why is this so easy to do this here, right? But on my yoga mat, I wobble, I get flustered, I shake, right? It's all figure outable. And take a breath in and a breath out. Left foot comes down to the mat. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, you fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. You plant your hands, you step back to plank, and you pause. You take a full breath in and a long breath out. On your next exhale, you're going to push back to downward facing dog. You take a breath in and a breath out. Soak in this moment. Soak in the knowing that everything's figure outable. You take a breath in. You walk your feet through your hands and you come down to your back. You hug your knees into your chest. Right, and you notice here, this place where we started, how does it feel now? And there's sometimes I come to my mat and my body, I think, I don't know if I can do this. And then at the end, it's that, yeah, we figured it out, we got it. You hug your knees in. You're gonna reach in between your thighs. You're gonna grab opposite or outside edges of your feet. Come into happy baby moment. Soles of the feet are shining up towards the ceiling. Knees are pulling down towards your armpit. Right, the spine is long. Maybe you rock side to side. Take a breath in, you release the grip on your feet. Both knees are going to drop over to the right. Keeping both shoulder blades on your back. Your arms can be out side to side. You can cactus your arms. You can look out over the left shoulder. Okay, maybe you notice something here in this pose now that you didn't notice when we started. You take a breath in, you come back to center, and on the exhale, you drop the knees over to the left. You notice what's present for you here, what's alive. And come back to center on an inhale. Hug the knees in. Thank yourself for showing up this morning, moving your body. You soak in the idea that everything today is figure outable, no matter what comes at you, if you stay in your breath and in your body. And take a breath in, legs go out long, arms go down by your side. Let the back side of your body get heavy. Shavasana. And here, let your body and mind rest. There's nothing to figure out here. Complete and utter surrender. If you start to wander, just come back to your breath. Come back to the body. Surrender. The letting go. Start to bring some awareness back into your breath. Maybe deepen it a little bit. Some movement into your fingers and your toes. And you remind yourself that everything is figure-outable. And keeping your eyes closed, you roll gently to your right side and you pause. And when you're ready, you help yourself up to seated at the top of your mat. Together, you take a breath in, the arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center and pause. Thumbs rest on your heart space. Feel the breath, feel the life force within you. Together, take a full breath in and a long breath out. The light and truth in me sees and honors that in each of you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Together we say namaste. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.